As always, significant travelling support has made its way from the UK to Dublin for this 134th international between these sides. Some wonderful faces of players and crowd alike on a cold, crisp but cloudless evening in Dublin. Here's a final check on the teams. Healy, Best and Furlong in the front row, Toner and Ryan. A terrific second row for Ireland. O'Mahony, Stander and Van der Fleer complete the back row. If that pack can win the ball, this is the back line. Murray and the World Player of the Year, Jonathan Sexton, are the halfbacks. Aki and Ringrose in the midfield, and Stockdale and Earls either side of Robbie Henshaw at full back. And the England team that has come to do battle in Dublin, well, it is a pack of some significant bulk. Vunipola, George and Sinclair in the front row. Itoje and Cruz, another dynamic second row partnership. Wilson, Billy Vunipola and Curry make up the back row. Owen Farrell, captain, wears the number 10, often wears 12. In the 12 is Tuilagi, back for his first Six Nations game since 2013. Back three of May, Daly and Noel. If they are given an opportunity, they are deadly. And the replacements benches, well, they show huge experience on offer for both coaches if required. Sean O'Brien in particular for Ireland is one that you would expect will have a significant impact. Here's the face of Rory Best and of Jack Noel, and well, these moments where the nerves are jangling and you just really want to get on with it. They'll have to wait for another couple of seconds as the atmosphere builds. You have a stone heart if you can't engage with this one. And the referee and his assistants all from France today. We'll get to them in just a moment. There's Peter O'Mahony, in many ways not the captain but very much a spiritual leader for Ireland. There is the referees, Jérôme Garcès of France, Romain Poit and Alex Rousse of France run the lines, and Glenn Newman of New Zealand is the television match official should we require him during the game. It's rugby's greatest championship. It's Ireland against England. It's the Guinness Six Nations for 2019, and we're off and running in Dublin. And it's Farrell who gets England underway and pins Ireland right back on the angle in their 22. A good start from the English captain and kicker, and Ireland will settle into their phases deep inside their own 22. And Conor Murray, well, so often his kicking game is singled out for being outstanding, and it will need to be on a day like today, Dowie.
Indeed, it was a tremendous kick from Owen Farrell. Absolutely right on the money. Ireland having just a box kick out with Murray. It's advantage England to go over the top.
And Tuilagi comes steaming onto it, and it's set up quickly. And there for Farrell, and England have started at pace and angles and keep that Irish defence guessing early. Sinclair, so good with ball in hand, is asked to carry. It's quick ball, and in midfield it's Tuilagi who carries for the second time. It pops up for Youngs, and then it's taken on by young Curry. And there for Youngs once more, and Sinclair, and he ducks under a tackle that's eventually made by Stander. Youngs once more. Jack Noel wearing the blue scrum cap, Exeter player. Ireland being asked to defend ferociously in the opening minutes. Vunipola is met by a stone wall that is Aki. Pass finds its way out to Daly, and Daly fires it on to May, and England are in. Inside a minute and a half, Johnny May and Elliot Daly unlock the Irish defence, and the Aviva Stadium is stunned. But what a start from England. All from the kick of Owen Farrell. It has been precision every second of that minute and a half.
Absolutely, over the top, go to your go-to man. Tuilagi back in international action. He takes some stop and he presents the ball superbly, and then it's don't get panicked with the ball. Again, that's the second carry, making inroads. Past the ball, and this from Farrell. Earls goes for the interception, it doesn't work. That's just a training ground run-in. What a start from England, what a try.
What a try indeed, and well, that's the pass from Daly to Johnny May, but what about the pass from Owen Farrell? It tempted Keith Earls onto it, and when he didn't get there, well, Ireland's defence was completely shred, and May took full advantage.
It's almost like the Stockdale try that he scored against New Zealand, actually off a line, coming back onto that left-hand side. It's unfortunate for Keith Earls, he did see it, he did want it, he couldn't get to it. What a start.
What a start indeed, and Owen Farrell will line up a very difficult conversion attempt. Take a breath. On its way from Farrell. He's got his eye in, hasn't he? Terrific kick. And England, well, dream start from their perspective. 3 minutes on the clock, they lead it by 7 points to 0.
And they're using their big ball carries, not only Tuilagi, put Billy Vunipola back in that England number 8 shirt, and that's the quick whipped pass. Whip it out, and it is a dream start from England.
Well, one thing is for sure, there'll be no panic from Ireland, but in terms of momentum, in terms of the psychology of this game, England could have asked for no more, and Mario Itoje receives the kick-off and sets England on their way once more. It was interesting to see just how quick the ball went from Youngs at the breakdown in the passage of play leading up to the try. Henshaw comes from a long way back. It's found its way into the arms of Jamie George, and it's there for Ben Youngs again, and good vision from the scrum half. Sees that Earls is out of position, little kick in behind, and there's a real spring in the step and a steeliness in the eye of this English opening 4 minutes.
You Irish boys are going a bit quiet, I think. My word, everything is going England's way. What a kick into the corner. It's pressure, pressure, pressure all the time. That's the word we've been talking about.
When you look at those stats from last year and where the tries came from, line-outs 9 from Ireland, 7 from England, and that English try again, the line-out, such a rich source of points for teams, for these two teams in particular, and yet again, as this championship starts, it is similar. Ireland get a free from that line out. Didn't quite hear the referee's decision, but I presume it was for not having a gap. Here's Daly, Tuilagi, What a reintroduction to Six Nations rugby he's made in the opening 5 minutes. Ben Youngs for Jack Noel, and Ireland a little bit stunned, will want to just settle themselves into this game, make their tackles and find their way. Itoje is hit by Devon Toner. Back it goes for Owen Farrell, and back in the air it goes once more, and Keith Earls and Johnny May will contest this one, and there was a little bump, and where's it off to? Who's to get it? Keith Earls does, but he gets a face full of English shirts at the same time. Conor Murray and Josh van der Fleer, and Ireland just haven't been allowed to settle by England. Sexton will set about doing something about that. Here's Stockdale, has Ringrose outside him. Jacob Stockdale, of course, the leading try scorer from last year's Six Nations when he scored an amazing 7. Stander stopped in his tracks. The tackle coming from Mark Wilson. And advantage being played, and Ireland will try and take advantage. Bundyaki to Peter O'Mahony, but England read that one, but no advantage accruing, so back will come and it'll be a penalty to Ireland.
And that was the good and the bad from Tom Curry there, getting across the field as a good 7 should do, cutting down Stockdale. Unfortunately, he went for seconds in that ruck. You're not allowed to do it. If you're first there, you can get there and you can jackal over the top. You can't come over the top. Garces was having nothing, and it gives an easy out for Ireland, and I'm sure Sexton will just pop this down and catch a breath, because they've actually touched the ball almost for the first time in the first 6 minutes. What England are doing so well when they're carrying this ball, they're not carrying it upright, they're actually trying to hit the floor very, very quickly with 2 guys either side, hence that ball comes back so much more quickly for Youngs. This is it again, Kerry, you can't do that, they know that. Tag Furlan just pulls him to the ground, but unfortunately, like I said, the good and the bad.
It's a shortened line out for Ireland, and Rory Best at hooker. Devon Toner towards the rear, all 6'11" of them, or 2.1 metres, depending on what currency you're dealing in. That's good work, and they go to the maul, and Rory Best has it at the back of the Irish maul, and England try to disrupt and stop Ireland getting forward momentum, and they've done a decent job according to the referee, because there's no penalty, and O'Mahony finds Stander, and well, there's a big tackle again from young Curry in midfield. He started really well, the 20-year-old. Sexton. England up quickly to make the tackles. Henry Slade, of course, of Exeter, up to make that tackle. And again, Curry at the centre of England's defensive effort at the gain line. Conor Murray, little kick over the top that Johnny May read that very well. Has a look to see what's back there, and that is a kick that was inches from being perfect, but when it's not perfect, you find yourself under pressure, and it goes all the way back to where the kick was taken.
Almost 2 mistakes, isn't it? Curry giving the penalty away to Sexton there to put the ball down in the touchline. Best throws it in, and then that's the first real mistake, kicking out of hand or passing, whatever Tommy May's just made there. Inches, doesn't really matter. Oh, my word. Well, if you touch the line, obviously it is out, so I'll give the benefit of the doubt to the touch judge.
Rory Best goes towards the tail of the Irish line. Now Conor Murray digs it up, and Sexton pops it on. Very soft hands from the Irish out half. Here's Murray and Furlong, and Ireland. Little gap opens for Murray. England quickly there. Ireland need to protect the ball. Van der Fleer will play scrum half, and CJ Stander will be asked to carry. It's Mako Vunipola who makes the tackle. Million-mile-an-hour stuff now for Furlong at scrum half, and Gary Ringrose puts the head down, and Devon Toner tries to aid in getting forward momentum. It's advantage, is it, for the referee? Sexton, crossfield kick. Where's this one off to? Watched all the way, but we'll come back for a penalty. Johnny Sexton hit marginally late, but enough, I think, to get away with it. But 3 white not rolling away is Kyle Sinclair, and that's what the penalty is from the last breakdown.
You better take a breath there, Raul. But yeah, it's action all the way, really. And this is the first time Ireland have had that ball, that sympathetic pass to Bundyaki, a bit like Tuilagi. You know what he's going to do. Almost a classic New Zealand line from inside centre. And then this is playing the advantage. It's the old kick pass. Keith Earls is never really going to get there. May's got plenty of time. He marks it, but this should be a given 3 points for Sexton. He's lining this up right in front of the posts.
Yeah, on second viewing of that, nothing in that from Vunipola. He was absolutely committed, and the kick from Sexton had just gone as he threw his body in an attempt to block it. So then, Jonathan Sexton, Ireland's out half, won just about every award there was to win last year. In 2018, World Player of the Year, and every accolade back in Ireland as well. 738 international points, his first opportunity of the 2019 Guinness Six Nations. Flags go up. Ireland have their first points. 10.5 minutes gone. Ireland 3, England 7.
Just rewards. Can't quite. I'm sure Joey Smith's behind there somewhere, behind the smoke glass. But again, that's what you've got to do at international rugby. If you get in the 22, come away with points. They're always going to kick that, but it was, you can just see the confidence in that Irish side. All right, they've got blitzed in that first 5 minutes with that try. They will not panic. Pressure will not get to them.
Up goes Devon Toner to claim the restart from Owen Farrell. Another good kick from Farrell, pinning Ireland right back again on that angle. Very difficult to exit as far out as they'd like to. Peter O'Mahony tries to improve that angle, and Murray in behind young James Ryan, just 22 years of age. You look at Ryan in the second row for Ireland, Itoje in the second row for England. So much talent there. And that one, super.
I think that's an absolute beauty.
Beauty. Absolute beauty.
I can think of other words, but we'll go with beauty.
That's how each side played out of their own 22 last year. And not as much kicking as you'd have expected from Ireland out of the 22. Well, that's what they did on that occasion. Here's Youngs. Watched by Keith Earls. Earls' 73rd international cap, and there's an arm outstretched, and Earls is still on the ground, but the referee prepared to let the advantage go. He'll come back and deal with it in a moment. Which way is this going to bounce? Oh, Elliot Daly's a lucky man. It nearly went over his head. But we'll see what the referee has to say about this. It may have been Tom Curry, and the referee will go back and check with his touch judge, and let's hear what they have to say.
Absolutely.
Le 7, je crois que c'est.
C'est le 7. Pour moi, c'est en retard.
Ouais,
Et c'est à l'épaule.
Okay.
7.
Carton jaune.
Number 7. It is Curry.
Even my GCS French.
Yeah, and there's
going.
a card
He's
coming.
going.
Jerome Garces is
The
clear.
timing is clearly wrong. Usual shoulder, it's a yellow card.
And England, after their blistering start, are down to 14. And on such moments, momentum changes.
10 minutes down to 14, and he's been, for me, the pick of the English players. Really, he's very committed, carrying the ball, and
there's no question on that
there's
one.
no Paul. You know, he doesn't have to make this tackle. He knows what he's doing. He's trying to rough Keith Earls up, and he's had to pay the consequences, which is 10 minutes having a cup of tea, and that was senseless. Really, there's no need for that. You know, the adrenaline should be out of your body by now. 12 minutes into the game, that was a penalty you don't need to give away, and a yellow card, sorry, as well.
Yeah, that's a young man.
It is
trying to make his mark, and well, you need a cool head and a fiery heart, and he had a fiery head on that occasion.
And you asked, he's 20 years of age. He is learning all the time. You know, he's not long since he was at England under 20s. He's had, you know, match experience with Sale Shark. This is a different level. This is a different level. You've got to keep your head.
Devon Toner wins the line out, and it's there for Sexton, and all sorts of movement in that Irish backline. It ends up in the arms of Robbie Henshaw. Jonathan Sexton, a little gap opened up for Sexton. Slade, I think, the one to make the tackle, and then Conor Murray for Devon Toner. Ireland, what can they do with this numerical advantage for the next 9 minutes? England would happily be restored to 15 with the scoreline as exactly as it is right now.
Okay, thank you.
Bundyaki, Tyg Furlong, Murray, Aki again, very involved. Sexton saw that outside was cut off and took the tackle. Furlong once, or Cian Healy I should say, great feet from Healy. Here's Earls, fully recovered from that knock. Stockdale tries to get away, but Henry Slade holds on. Furlong to Ryan, but just forced a little, and England look to turn defence into attack, and Ringrose makes the tackle on Farrell. It's still advantage, so they can throw it around a little for the knock on, and the referee sticks out an arm. England still have the advantage, so it's risky, but there is a safety net.
Okay.
Safety net is taken, and we'll come back for the knock on.
A little bit of indecision really there from Farrell. He looked to kick long, and one thing I'll have to say about Owen Farrell, he hasn't got the sort of the quickest of feet to get out of. That's the turnover. That's good defence from England, hitting up a dominant tackle in a sense. Then Farrell jigs inside, but he can't get away from it. Now this ball's got to go downfield. It's got to go downtown. It doesn't. He put Slade in a lot of trouble there, and it's needless. You know, at this point of the game, you're down to 14 guys. It's 14 minutes on the clock. Eddie Jones, well, I can probably tell you what he's thinking. Don't do that.
Here's the statistics from the opening 15 minutes in terms of tackles made, and it's pretty even, just about on every level. But the dominant tackles, they're tackles that mean that the person carrying the ball does not get across the gain line or goes backwards, and in that way England have had 12 dominant tackles, which basically means they've stopped Ireland in their tracks.
That's the modern game. That's the professional game. Thou shall not pass. And you know, if you can get your arms free and go just a foot or two and offload, that's the difference. So they're trying to stop that. It's trying to stop any offloading whatsoever from the Irish side, and it's working at the moment, but they're going to have to work even harder. Like I said, 7.5 minutes, or nearly 7.5 minutes, down to 14.
Just about 15 minutes in, and I think this is the first scrum of the afternoon.
For all those purists out there in the rugby clubs up and down the land in the world watching this, this is where you earn your corn. This is where it all begins.
And Jack Noel is playing. That's like Eddie Jones.
Tongue-in-cheek Eddie Jones, and some journalists actually believed him. Oh my word.
Well, there he is. On the blind side flank for England.
Yeah, stay strong,
Has
stay
to
strong.
be there, of course, with Curry in the bin. Youngs gets away, little dink over the top. Henshaw came forward and gathers the ball well. A little bit of space at Toje, just about gets to Robbie Henshaw. England could be pinged for being offside. Looked like Owen Farrell broke the line there, but referee keeps the arm down. James Ryan is hit by Makavunapola. Aki, Henshaw, pass meant that Earls had to stop and retreat to collect, but possession there for Ireland. Gary Ringrose. Here's CJ Stander. Again, a big tackle. This time Sinclair is the one to make it. Aki, Sexton. Now there's a bit of space for Ireland. Stockdale looks back inside, holds onto the ball. Sexton and O'Mahony there to support. Murray for Furlong. Runs into his old Lions teammate Makavunapola. Aki. Didn't go to hand, and Van der Fleer stretched for it and knocked it forward, and there's maybe an opportunity, although Ireland close off the space pretty quickly on England. Elliot Daly knocks it downfield, and after all that we will have a throw into the line out for England, just short of the Irish 10-metre line.
Fantastic game of chess going on out there. You can see Ireland are trying to move England around, going from left to right. You know, sometimes you've got to earn the right to go wide. I think they need to carry the ball a little bit, but again, England's defence just holding on, and unfortunately it's a mistake again from a handling error. You can see Stockdale coming in, just brushing off Owen Farrell, doing what wingers should do. Don't go out into touch, come back inside and recycle the ball. Sometimes the bouncing ball is brilliant. Van der Fleer can't hold it. That's the turnover, and England can release that pressure again.
Green.
Scrappy. But do England still have it? They do. And Young's not the cleanest of ball, but ball nonetheless. Makavunapola. Tackle made by Cian Healy. Youngs with a little kick, a little test. Ireland defensively, and Itoje gets in the way, and it's advantage for Ireland again. And well, England are already down to 14. I wonder what the referee has to say about this one.
Well, we'll see it again, I'm sure, but I'd like to think it's awkward.
We said about the blocking first.
Yeah, but he clearly charged the man without the ball, so it's not about the escort or thing. Okay.
Referee clear, it was charging and nothing more.
Referee's always clear. We wouldn't have a game without them. Level low them, it doesn't really matter. I think the right decision. Conor Murray's he's allowed to stand in the way.
Oh, I don't know. I can see why the crowd are annoyed, and I can understand why the Irish captain was having a word. But the referee saw that as a clean contest, although Itoje, well,
I think
it's easy in a replay.
It is. Keith Earls hasn't taken his eye off the ball, which is fine.
You must make a difference between a clear yellow card and a clear penalty. This is a clear penalty, okay?
And I have no problem with that.
Yeah, thank you. Now, when you speak about this, it's a penalty.
I think Rory Best, as captain of Ireland, has got the right to come to the referee and just explain the situation and explain his decision. I would think, if I was a neutral, that Mari Itoje didn't have any inkling to get that ball whatsoever, because again it was 5 or 6 feet away from him. He knew what he was going to do. The referee has to make that decision. England, I think, are very lucky not to get down to 13.
Take the mark.
And Keith Earls, in many ways, is still lucky to be on the pitch because he's taken some punishment in the opening 20 minutes. All the time the clock ticks down on the sin binning of Tom Curry, and England will be happy enough with what has happened in the previous 6 minutes of the 10 that they've been down to 14.
Use it!
Murray with one for Earls to chase. Well taken by Johnny May.
Stay. Okay.
That was the perfect box kick, just outside the 22. May have taken the perfect take, you've got to say.
Okay.
Youngs and Murray watches that one all the way, and into touch it goes.
Not a bad response from Youngs. Conor Murray, two of the best scrum-halves in the world on show today. Tom May with that try in the first, 2 minutes? Silenced this crowd, but since then, really, you can just see Ireland just creeping back into the game, getting their patterns going. Again, not panicking, don't let the word pressure get to you.
That didn't look straight, I have to say, but the referee was happy to let it go. Back inside from Bundy Aki to Keith Earls. England shouting obstruction, referee says, get on with it. Sexton, Aki, Gary Ringrose, little kick ahead, Ringrose and Stockdale go after it. May comes across, he's made a mess of it, but gets it at the second attempt, but he also gets Stockdale and Ringrose. And Ireland come pouring through, but England have somehow managed to scramble back and rescue the situation. Youngs with the exit kick that isn't going to find touch. Sexton wrapped up by Knowles. Stockdale in the smallest of spaces, got the offload away, and maybe he should have held on. And the ball turned over to England again. Bundy Aki told to get his hands off it. Back with Owen Farrell. And across the field it goes. Robbie Henshaw being dragged one way and the other as Ireland's relatively new full-back, new in terms of position, not new in terms of experience. Murray, Ringrose, England again up quickly. It's been a full display of commitment to defence from England in the opening quarter. Toner, lovely hands from the big second row, but Sinclair wasn't going to be fooled. Ireland through CJ Stander. Itoje goes in search of the ball, and he's turned it over. Terrific work from Itoje. England, though, slightly surprised to be in possession and get knocked back inside their own half. The physicality from both sides, breathtaking. Earls claims it. May, well, a couple of errors from both sides, and somehow Stockdale's come away with it. And Ireland into the English half. Jacob Stockdale needed support. Here's CJ Stander, almost nothing outside him. Ireland with Murray. Healy the decoy. Johnny Sexton. Ball doesn't go to hand. Ireland have not passed well, but that's as much down to English defensive pressure as anything.
It's not clear and obvious.
James Ryan.
No, mine!
What a battle. 23 seconds left on the sin binning. 15 against 14. And Ireland get the penalty.
Well, my word.
Knock on by 8, offside by 2 white.
Attack, counter-attack, pressure, everything. Penalty right in front. And again, it just started, didn't it? Johnny May, what on earth were you doing? Sexton decides to turn that. Was it a free kick or a penalty? I don't know.
It was a penalty.
It's a penalty.
Offside. And Ireland have kicked for the corner and declined the opportunity at 3.
England are back up now to 15, that's for sure. That's good for England. But they've decided to go for broke. They've gone for the corner, and you always say you've just turned away 3, and that would have been a given 3 with Johnny Sexton right in front of the post again. Rory Best, Cian Healy. Here we go. You go for it. You've got to convert it.
Well, there are moments in every game that affect the ebb and flow and ultimately the scoreboard at the end, and this is most definitely one. Can Ireland, having declined the 3, get more than that? From England's perspective, hold out, and it'll feel wonderful. But right now it's O'Mahony who drives towards the line at the back of that ball, held up short. Cian Healy has his hands on it. James Ryan is at his back. Healy goes towards the line, but he's cut down. Patience required from Ireland now. They've proven time after time they have that, as Van der Fleer is hit by Sinclair. Murray can see the ball. Youngs has his hands on it. Ireland go down the narrow side. Advantage being played. They have a free play. Penalty on its way for Ireland. Stockdale screaming for it out wide, but the big men won't leave it out. And they've gone over. It's Healy for Ireland. They knocked and eventually the door opened. Cian Healy. And the penalty that might have been 3 was declined, and Ireland now have a minimum of 5. And what a moment in this game.
And that's good decision making. Again, under that word pressure, they decided to turn the 3 down. They've gone for the corner. Rory Best hit his man. England didn't really jump for this line out. They set themselves. James Ryan catches it. They actually thought he was going to go to the back. That's where they put most of their big forwards. And then it's just a matter of time. This is the first initial drive. That goes down. Don't panic. That's what Ireland didn't do. Cian Healy. And that's a lovely sight for a prop, isn't it? My word.
Wonderful body strength, upper body strength
Again,
for Cian Healy.
Rory Best just aiding him over that line. He's hit it low. He's used those. How many hours must he spend in the gym on the just on the squats or whatever? And that's what's got him over. Ireland deserve that. Really do. They turned the 3 down. They've got the 5. Will Sexton make it 7? What a game.
Ben, can you hear me?
So for 10 minutes Ireland had the numerical advantage and could do nothing with it. Back comes Curry. England to 15 and Ireland find a way. And Sexton with the opportunity to add an additional 2. Crowd will tell you, touch judges confirm it. 26 minutes gone, 2 heavyweights throwing some pretty big jabs. Ireland lead it by 10 points to 7.
Perfect execution. You decide to go into the corner. Your big loose head goes over, the big bear's over, the crowd go up, and then Sexton just, poof, it's only on the touchline. Another 2 points. But it all came really from that little mistake. Johnny May nutmegged him his own self. A bit like Huget last night, letting Ford in for one of those tries. And just, you know, it's ebb and flow. This game is superb. The contacts, the tackles are just ferocious.
This is Tadhg Furlong. And Natoje tries to hold him up, but Furlong gets the extra yard.
And this is the set. This is where Murray is so good now. Will he go for length or just get it into touch? He goes for touch.
Sure, that's going to find touch. It doesn't. It's Elliot Daly for Billy Bunapola. And CJ Stander is opposite number up quickly to put the big man down. George. Here's Farrell. Jack Noel in midfield. He can spring up just about anywhere. Mako Vunapola, Rory Betts and Conor Murray combine to make the tackle. Ball presented quickly, as it has been throughout this game, by England at the breakdown. Youngs squirts out to him again. Farrell just pops it up to Jack Noel nonchalantly and says, play with that. Itoje, Farrell on the loop, and then Slade and all sorts of runners in front of him, and Ireland somehow find a way around those blockers and make the tackle and then hold the defender up to create the maul. And the referee
good job.
is happy to let play
Good
to
job,
continue.
Irene.
Ball came out on the English side, all good from their perspective. Youngs, Farrell, carry from Wilson.
Green, leave it!
Ireland told to get away from it, and they do, just in time. And Farrell decides, maybe we can play down there, but it's not a good kick from Owen Farrell.
But then!
Gave Ireland an easy exit, and England will start all the way back inside their own half. Jack Noel cruising along to see if there's a gap. And if there was one, the pace then comes. Farrell, Slade. Robbie Henshaw.
Not his best, Robbie Henshaw, but at least he was back covering. It's a totally different area to whether you're trained there to actually play. It's his first game in 4 years, whether it be for club or country.
Yeah, and after you release, play on. C'est bon, Romain?
One thing I will say is Garces is playing a great deal of advantage time for both sides, letting players to get to ground, so it makes it even a more open game.
Here's Youngs, England in a really good field position. Youngs for Tuilagi. Elliot Daly, there's a real purpose about everything England are doing today. Stockdale juggled with it, where's it going? It's a try, I think. Daly gets over.
Try?
Stockdale's mistake, and yes, it is a try. Referee and touch judge confer, and England have their second try of the afternoon. Something from nothing.
Something from nothing, but again, it's something you do. You automatically do. Stockdale, I tell you what, if he sees this back, which he will do,
Ben, can you hear me?
he's almost gifted it to England. England were going, there's not a great deal of shape. They get their big forwards just trucking up the middle. Slade puts the kick through, and it's the follow-up tackle from Noel, which he's allowed to do. He's actually on the man. Daly's following. Stockdale just gets the ball, pitter-patters it back to himself, loses it in the tackle. Perfectly good score.
Well, we saw Johan Huget last night for France. If it was soccer, you'd say he threw one in his own net, and well, not quite as bad from Jacob Stockdale, but he will look at that. The bounce was wicked as it spun up, and Noel made the tackle, and Daly doing what a good fullback should do in those circumstances, following it in and grasping the opportunity when it came. Half an hour gone, 2 points in it, conversion to come.
I think he switched off. Glenn? Yeah. Thanks.
Good kick from Owen Farrell, really good kick. 31 minutes on the clock. Ireland 10, England 14. There's a precision and a purpose about England in that first half hour that was missing for large parts of the Six Nations last year and at times during November.
Without a doubt, it's lacking a little bit of shape, and they did lack shape actually before that try a little bit, but they just holded it back together, get the big ball carriers going. Look, defences, modern day defences are so claustrophobic. It takes something to actually unpick them and lock them. You can just see why Slade is popping that ball through. Owen Farrell's been trying it a few times. Likewise, the Irish backs have been just putting it through, just trying to turn that big defensive wall. That time it worked for England.
Henry Slade is eventually put to ground by Keith Earls.
He's not bound, sir! He's not bound!
If you try to speak, 80 minutes.
Henshaw came, but It was taken by May. And Itoje goes cross field. Youngs with the kick, and Earls with plenty of time to deal with it and decide he's going to Stockdale, or is it Henshaw? It's Stockdale.
No.
Here is Sexton and O'Mahony.
Play on.
James Ryan. And Ireland will just go back to their process and find a way of getting themselves back into territory. But England are really cutting them off on that gain line, and the momentum isn't there that you normally see from Ireland in the carries. There's a case in point.
Just to say, the one before, the line speed from England was absolutely frightening. Bundyaki had nothing else to do just to come back inside and hope his support was there.
No, it's a rock!
Van der Fleer set right back.
No, three. The jersey, no, it's enough.
Conor Murray's kick. Noel waits. Daly comes. Ringrose wins. Stander. Sexton. Bundyaki trying to slip away, and he has. Here's Robbie Henshaw. Youngs goes after him. May helps make the tackle. Ball presented quickly. Murray arrives. CJ Stander. Jamie George makes the tackle. Sexton again. Tyke Furlong, and Curry stops him cold. Murray, Sexton, and Bundyaki. Last year, in the final 10 minutes of the first half, England coughed up more points in that 10 minutes leading up to half-time than they did at any other phase of the game. And conversely, Ireland scored more in the last 10 minutes of the first half than at any other time in the other games. Let's see if they can find a way of getting some more on the board before the half-time break.
Come on, come! Natu!
I'll tell you one thing, the benches are going to be even more important come the second half. This ball has hardly been out. I don't know how many line-outs we've had, how many scrums, not many. It's just end-to-end. Stefan Gar says he's just playing jouet, just play with it. He's given an extra 3 or 4 seconds at the breakdown, making it even faster game. At last, we have a break.
Relax.
Well, not surprisingly, there's a whole slew of yellow shirts. The medical staff from both sides in as you watch that replay. Terrific take from Ringrose in traffic.
Absolutely brilliant. Don't take your eye off it. This is Robbie Henshaw. I think he was trying to look for Keith Earls coming back inside off his wing. But again, it's good defence from the English back three or back midfield. And this was the time that we did get a break. Johnny May just doing the right thing. Conor Murray, the line is not your friend, unfortunately, in that occasion, and that gives England the throw-in. Good place to attack. Carries, meters made. Ireland in ascendancy. And if you remember back to the first couple of minutes when England went over the top, will they do the same? Here's Tuilangi now, he's behind Farrell. I don't think we're going to see that. We match an old catch, a famous old catch and drive. No,
Itoje for Youngs, and then Owen Farrell, and Ireland come up quickly. Farrell spots it, the kick goes over the top, then Henshaw comes across, and he's under all sorts of pressure from May, then holds up about half a metre short of his own line, and Ireland rush back in numbers, and they just about rescued the situation, but still under extreme pressure. Conor Murray behind his own goal line, and the kick is to Vunipola. And the big man gets a bit of pace up, and Stander holds firm, and O'Mahony goes in beside him. But not before England burst back into the Irish 22. George steps back inside, great feet from the English hooker. England come again, looking for more, wanting to extend that lead before the half-time break. Youngs, amongst the sea of bodies, has spotted the ball. Crowd raise their voice, urging Ireland to defend. Bundyaki rallies to the call, but the ball is there. Makavunapola, Devon Toner cuts him down. Youngs, Farrell, May, Daly, Noel, 4 Irishmen like a swarm across. This is a belter of a test match.
Oh, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal defence from Ireland, but you've got to credit, well, I've got to credit Owen Farrell. It wasn't a catching drive from this line. Otoji just holds it, puts it in, and it's to drag Robbie Henshaw. Where are you, Robbie? He's gone to the left, he's got to come back. Like he said, it's not his natural position. He started his international career there. That's brilliant, because again, it's all about putting you forwards, putting your team in territory, in the right phase of the field. And then it's just a progression, ball carry, phase after phase after phase. And you've got to say Ireland did themselves a big favour here, just getting known. He tries to come in and look at the cover. Van der Fleer, Earls, and Etzel, even Sexton was there to snaffle that out. What a game.
Guys, a good gap, okay?
Nothing too big, come on.
Ireland trying to get on with it quickly, but the referee pulled it back. He was speaking with the players.
What is the double whistle mean?
Like I said, he's playing his part. You know, if you know he's going to give you those advantages and not whistle for every infringement or 2 seconds with hands on, it makes for a better game. It's brilliant.
Yes, yes, yes.
Shortened defensive line out for Ireland.
Stay inside, okay, and stay.
I'm over the top.
Stay!
Will England compete? They don't, but it's not straight. It's not straight. And Ireland creak a little bit under the pressure.
Hit him way off the ball.
Too fancy down, as I would call it. They've gone for a short liner. It gives Devon Toner, their go-to man, a little bit more space.
Yeah.
And
If you want,
there's the scrum effectiveness from last season. Ireland pretty good. Scrum penalties conceded, England 5.
Sorry?
Scrum penalties 1-10, so yeah.
The second
They
scrum,
just
guys.
want to go and hold this ball. I don't think they'll be going over with the likes of Tack Furlong and Cian Healy there. They'll just want good ball. There's a nice little open side here. Jack Knowles come off his wing, standing directly with the blue cap right behind the scrum. Is that a decoy? Is it an 8-9-14, or are they going to go in the midfield?
Just the second scrum of what has been a pulsating first half at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin. England with Vunapola around the corner they go. No, almost there, but Ireland in the nick of time get numbers around the corner. Itoje has his hands on it. From here, Ireland found a way to knock down the English defence. Can England, with just over a minute on the clock before half-time, do the same? They're taking a long time about it. Ireland shut the first effort. George will play scrum half. Does he pick? Does he go? It's actually Vunapola with George on his shoulder.
No, back on the line.
Ball will come back for England again. Ireland's got to get the bodies out of there. It's Ryan on the wrong side. Where's the ball?
Nice!
It's up a jumper and in under a pile of bodies. Pick and go again from England. Still Ireland find a way of holding firm. Itoje and Cruz and all others are there. Youngs will now try and dig it out again. Noel goes in. It's Vunapola who carries. Maka Vunapola. Referee says he's going to go upstairs, I think.
I have the grounding. Is it for your double movement, yes or no?
I cannot see.
Okay, so please.
So the television match official will be brought in, and it's Glenn Newman.
I have the grounding, so now on-field decision is a try. But is it a double movement, yes or no?
Yep, we're checking for double movement.
Yeah.
So clear for Jerome Garces. He's seen a grounding, but he hasn't seen what's happened before. It is a double movement. We'll maybe see here. It's Maka Vunapola, and at that point, it looks on first evidence that it is a double movement. The ball was trapped underneath his chest.
Again, it's difficult to see. We'll probably see it from this angle. See, that's down there.
He's stopped
And
there.
even if he's scored from there, that is definitely a double movement. Your momentum has to
What
turn.
I'm
You can
sure-
place for the ball.
The tackler
I think we'll
is
see this in
on
full
field,
speed.
okay?
That's the way we need it, but that's definitely held up.
So
And then the momentum of the rest of his forwards getting it. It would have been a thing of beauty for the front row union, obviously, but that's about their distance. Cian Healy scoring one up in this first half from about the same distance. See, that's down and then it's gone. That's
Just
you're
when-
shaking
what-
your
what
head.
you-
I
you
can't
must be
see him
sure
awarding.
Look, in
does it use
in
his
slow
knee?
motion, it's a no try, isn't it? At real speed, you could just see.
Yeah, I can hear you, Jerome.
So what's your feeling, Glenn?
Just wait.
For me, the tackler is onside, inside the field, enough to use his knee to arrive on the line. So it's no try. And penalty against 3, green. Are you agreeing?
I'm just checking, Jerome. Just let me check.
Okay, you want to check another?
Well, Glenn Newman wants to
Another
have
time?
another look.
Yeah, Jerome,
Well,
you're
it's
correct.
an
He lands on
important
his knee
thing.
and then pushes off
It's
his
an
feet.
important thing. If he's not sure, he is given his decision
no
in a sense,
try.
and now it's up for the team. It's no try.
Look,
so basically,
now,
that's down, and he
enough
goes.
to use his knees
Is
to
that
arrive on the
deemed
line.
at full
So no try.
speed?
Yeah.
No try. No try is the decision.
Okay.
Penalty.
You can breathe now.
So after all that, remember that the referee had his arm out for an infringement
I'd forgotten.
about 20 phases ago, and it was advantage to England.
And
So
Farrell
England will go for the penalty, and then add another 3 as
No,
we
his knee.
head to the last action of the first half.
And what a fantastic first half it's been. Just end-to-end stuff. Both teams just sort of trying to work each other out. They know their strengths. Are there any weaknesses?
fine.
One or two, but it's mostly strengths.
Very excited. So
And I think
Yeah. So yeah. If
this goes over, it would be making England look a little bit better than they were, to be honest.
tackle is on the side, on the field, and after with the knee.
Farrell has the radar fully focused today. It is half-time, and it is a 7-point lead for England in what has been a bruising but utterly absorbing first half at the Aviva Stadium.
Over the line.
And England, well, they're not doing the traditional trot down the tunnel. They're having a little chat on the field. But we will have a half-time break, and at that break, it's Ireland 10, England 17. Well, whether you're in Washington and Auckland or Sydney or Cape Town or Buenos Aires or wherever in between, we hope you're enjoying this third instalment of the first weekend of the Guinness 2019 Six Nations Championship as Ireland make their way back to the field of play in Dublin, and they know they are right up against it. And immediately you look to the teams and you see the number 23 of Jordan Lorimer for Ireland, and it's Keith Earls who's made way. Earls was in the wars through that first half, and the decision has been to keep Earls in the dressing room, and there is Jordan Lorimer, just 21 years of age, his 10th international cap. He has dancing feet. So then, Jordan Lorimer in, Keith Earls gone. 7 points on the scoreboard, separating Ireland from England in what was a pulsating first half. Where to from here? Itoje and England will believe on the bedrock of what they've created in that first half, that they have the momentum, they have the measure of Ireland. And we're about to find out. It's going to be, well, you feel that this will still be very much alive with 10 minutes to go in this game. Ireland have work to do. Robbie Henshaw runs into his own player, Bundyaki, who was retreating to try and help him, but no harm done. Furlong steps out of the first tackle and sets it up for Conor Murray. Jonathan Sexton, and he's blocked down by Curry. Great work by the young man to get to Sexton. And Youngs looks to kick the ball over to that far side where Ringrose is waiting, and he'll shuffle across the line and see if there's any weakness in that English defence, which there hasn't been for the opening 40 minutes. Cian Healy, Ireland's try scorer in that first half, carries it up, and Murray and Sexton, and so often we say it at the start of the second half, but the next score absolutely crucial for both sides. Were England to increase that 7-point lead, well, the mountain would get so steep for Ireland.
Yeah, it would, and it's the rule of the boot at the moment. Both sides just feeling each other out. Dan Young's doing that into the corner. They don't want to make a mistake. One thing in Ireland's favour, though, they've only given one penalty away to England's 5. And if you remember back in the autumn when they beat the All Blacks, they only gave 5 away that day. So they're doing something absolutely correct, but England with the ball still.
And the momentum. Here's Billy Vunipola. Farrell. Little dink in behind, and that's going to be perfectly okay from Eddie Jones's perspective. It just keeps Ireland at the start of the second half pinned back in their own 22. Tackle from CJ Stander there was borderline on Sinclair.
Well, I think he'll take it. Carl Sinclair, isn't he? He's a centre in a prop's body. Warren Gatland once called him when he was out with the Lions. And but it's fine. They've got to, Ireland have got to get out of here. And you've just seen that. You mentioned it, Ralph. That little dink through. Defences are so good. That's the only way really to turn these defences. So they've got Ireland right back in a corner.
6.
Tyke Furlong hit by Mako Vunipola, and Jamie George on his shoulder. England not giving an inch even deep inside Irish territory. They're making those green shirts work really, really hard, but a good clearing kick from Ireland scrum half Conor Murray.
Yeah, deliberately going for touch, going for distance, trying to put some pressure now on Jamie George and the England line-out. Been pretty good. The Saracens in there, obviously. George Cruz with Mario Toja. George Cruz will be calling the line-out. Jamie George, obviously a Saracen.
Goes towards the tail, and it's just about back on the English side, and Farrell sees a gap, and that one's out on the full. So back will go. And it'll be a throw into the line out to Ireland between their 10-metre line and halfway line. A rare mistake from Owen Farrell, who's been pretty close to perfect so far.
He doesn't make many, you got to say that. He does the nuts and bolts very well, good skill set. But on that occasion, just overcooking. He knows he pulls his hands up to the forwards. But again, that was a great ball, actually, to bring some of the likes of Tuolangi in. But he'd made his decision to hook it back into that left-hand corner. Like I said, unfortunately, there's too much on it.
Rory Best for Devon Toner, and down quickly for Conor Murray, and Sexton had to readjust but gets the pass away to Ringrose, who ducks away from a tackle that looked high. Holds onto the ball, allowed to get back to his feet and evades. Eventually, Itoje puts him to ground.
Stay.
Murray for Sexton. Lovely little chip, but the angle not as good maybe as he would have wanted for runners coming behind, and into touch it goes. And England now have the throw, and he's furious.
He tends to, and I love that from Curry there, the open side flanker. I just got you slightly off the ball. I'm here, man. I'm coming for you. You make one mistake, I'm all over you. Sexton's such a perfectionist, World Player of the Year, obviously. Something's not quite gone right, but again, they're pushing England back. But England are quite happy with this. They're in control. Mario Toja will do that all day. Take balls in the line out, set it down, and yanks the box kick.
Keep your mind.
And underneath it is Larmer, and May comes and gets a hand to it, but Rory Best is there to rescue possession for Ireland, and Robbie Henshaw completes the job. Ball slowed right down, and the scrum half Conor Murray pointed to the referee that he's not interested in awarding any penalties.
But that's brilliant work from Tom Curry again, because he slew it down for 2 seconds and all of a sudden the momentum goes out of that.
Again, a big hit behind the gain line on Tyke Furlong. Ireland have got to find a way of getting some momentum. Aki is closed off. The ball is with Ringrose. It bounced away from an English hand. It's knocked forward. It's advantage to Ireland. Here's Cian Healy. Ireland will want to inject a bit of pace and ferocity into their own attack, and they're going about that now. James Ryan gets a yard where he hasn't been for many passages of play. Ringrose fires the pass out, and Stockdale is wrapped up by Noel and Slade, and Tuilagi there too. Ringrose for Healy. Ireland tiptoe their way into the English half. Sexton, crossfield, Larmour will go after it, but Farrell read it all the way and tries to get the kick away, which he does, and now it turns into a foot race, and Johnny May is coming storming after this, and Henshaw reaches and gets the ball, but he gets May as well, and he's got to be careful he doesn't get pinged for holding on. In fact, it's England, not rolling away, who have infringed at the breakdown, so a free play for Ireland. Short side, O'Mahony, and the flanker puts boot to ball, and the referee says that's no advantage, and back will come, and it'll be a penalty to Ireland, and O'Mahony and Sinclair have a little word.
You stupid cunt! You stupid cunt!
Apologies for any language you might have picked up there.
I think the referee wants a word.
6!
Sinclair always loves to mix it up.
Oh.
I think the referee's doing the correct thing. Just it's simmering,
6.
obviously, but
Oh, it's okay.
there's a few naughty words said, so like you said, apologies for that.
Guys, we are here, waiting for you, and you are here. Understand?
It's like what you say to the kids when you're in the car. I'm in the car, and what are you doing?
And then they turn their back on each other. Yeah, that's international rugby. This game is in the balance. But my word.
Stay! It's a penalty. Sorry? Sorry?
That's the sort of penalties that we're on. I know that incident, but that's constantly happening with it.
Owen Farrell in the referee's ear as well.
And stay.
Stay on me!
Stay.
Line out.
Stay.
1-9 by Ireland. Lost the 1, England 100% so far.
Again, to use that yardstick, which we have to do in New Zealand in the autumn. England lost 5 in that second half.
And it's Scrappy ball, it's Irish ball, but it's Scrappy, and
It's the white!
that's been
The white push the
a
ball!
significant problem for Ireland. They haven't had that clean momentum building ball that they are so often used to getting. And England have done everything they can to disrupt, and Larmour and May, well, that's a real competition, and who's going to come away with it? I think Jordan Larmour has it for Ireland. May's on the wrong side, referee says.
2 men, attacking team.
Attacking
2
team.
men.
You can see why the referee did it.
In
Well,
the
you
air,
boys
catch
taught us
the
to do
ball.
that, the choke tackle, isn't it? The Irish speciality. If you can't get down
There
on
is
that floor,
white and green.
and you've got to
on
say
the
May
ball.
makes up for
So,
that little
attacking
mistake when he
team.
was caught rolling, well, not rolling away from
Ah.
the attempted sort of
Two
tackle on
players
Robbie
on.
Henshaw, and there you go. He's got underneath it. There's not many forwards in there, just Billy Vunipola. We don't mean many when Billy's in there. Maritojo claiming that one.
Right, focus on
He
the-
likes
on
to
the
wind
scrum.
people up. He's in people's ears. Well done, mate.
Tackles, tackles and more tackles.
Keep your bind.
But those dominant tackles, those tackles that have stopped Ireland getting across the gain line or have caught Ireland behind the gain line. We'll look at that in terms of what England have been able to do to stop Ireland at source.
And that stops that great word we use in rugby, momentum.
No.
You cannot build anything if you're having to dig it out from the scrum half's point of view. Nobody can take the lines off it. No one can make the decoys. Actually, there's a lot of work goes off the ball that you don't see from these props in second row, holding people by decoy running.
I think you speak to walk straight, but it was not straight. Okay? Yeah.
Telling the front rows what to do. Yeah. Why on earth would you want to go in there? Into the dark, and we see into the dark Eddie Jones. Penny for them.
Well, he's got to be really happy with what he's seen. And you know, there's a rare thing that's happened at the Aviva Stadium, and indeed at any stadium over the last 18 months for Ireland. There is a level of frustration, and that is caused completely by what England have come and executed. Owen Farrell. Tuilagi away from the first tackle. Eventually O'Mahony and Toner get to him, and they try to rip the ball, but Tuilagi holds on and delivers for Youngs. And then Itoje. And Youngs again. And Owen Farrell and Mako Vunipola sort of barrels Johnny Sexton out of the way. England up to the Irish 22. Youngs once more. George. Sexton looking to rob the ball, but England hold on. Curry. Youngs again. Farrell. Tuilagi. Tackle from Bundyaki. Johnny May gets the ball, but nowhere to go as O'Mahony smothers him to the ground. George Cruz. Big second row in line, of course. Cruz winning his 28th international cap. Johnny May tried to get away, but couldn't.
Well, England will take 3 here. Farrell isn't going to line himself up with a drop goal quite yet. He's calling the shots, but they would love 3. They'll have a try, but they'd take 3.
Farrell. Curry carries once more. Sinclair, lovely soft hands from the prop. Mako Vunipola. Big tackle, needed to come, and it did, and it forces the turnover. And Sexton sees a gap, and away it goes into a foot race, and back goes Henry Slade, and Slade gets himself all in a muddle and knocks it forward, and an advantage to Ireland. And there's a big space there, and Sexton tries to find a runner to help, and couldn't, but will go back for the advantage. And there you go. You want to know how to turn defence into attack. An enormous hit for Ireland. Turns the ball over, space in front, the kick from Sexton, and in the blink of an eye, from 122 to the other we go.
Exactly, 80 metres, 75 minutes, it doesn't really matter. England building. I thought possibly Farrell would set him up for that drop. They were trying to buy 3 points. He's come back on the loop round, he's been hit hard, and really this is just a foot race that you're going to win. Slade's back there, and he does what Johnny made it in the first half, what Huget did last night, make a Horlicks of it. Absolutely, doesn't do one thing, doesn't dive on it, doesn't retain it, it just gives the ball to Ireland. And if we'd have run it on there, you'd have seen the person that actually got tackled down in that 22 was the person that hit Johnny Sexton, got the ball off him, Owen Farrell. So he's done himself good, but look at the distance, Dave. One mistake, you lose 70-odd metres.
And what it's also done is bring the crowd back into it, because they've been very, very quiet since that second half began almost 12 minutes ago. Courtney Laws is coming into the game, and you talk about impact subs. 69th international cap for Courtney Laws, and it's George Cruz who makes way.
Well, you got Nathan Hughes on the bench. Obviously Courtney Laws will be going into the row he can play, and he did in the autumn internationals, and I'm not a great fan of that, actually, just strapping a second row to the side of the scrum. For me, he's a second row. He's an athletic sitter, and you've got 2 of the best in the world there now with Mario Itoje and Courtney Laws, vastly experienced. A new set of legs, set of lungs, and he can hit as well and carry.
52 minutes on the clock, and this is the first put into a scrum for Ireland, and it's in terrific position from their perspective. And Jonathan Sexton sort of prowling around. You see him top of your picture, suggesting he might go blind, and then coming back to the more open of the 2 sides, and Ireland locked the scrum out. And CJ Stander will pick, and Murray is the decoy, and it goes to Bundyaki, and England didn't buy it defensively, but Aki punches a hole nonetheless, and Stander's on his shoulder. And Ireland, middle of the pitch, options both ways. They need quick balls. Stander feeds Furlong, but England make the tackle, and Furlong fights for an extra yard, and James Ryan is the carrier now, and Murray, and that ball didn't go to hand, but Van der Fleer on this occasion is able to scoop it up, and Henry Slade makes the tackle, but Ireland forced back another couple of metres. Stander cut to ground, and Laws just for a moment on the wrong side. Bundyaki, it's a sledgehammer at a cement wall at the moment for Ireland. Furlong sets it up.
No ends.
England's defence rock solid. Sexton, Rory Best puts the head down. Ball comes quickly. Ringrose, he has a little bit of magic, and it's advantage for the high tackle on Ringrose, and we will take that advantage back, and it'll be a penalty to Ireland, and the crowd baying for more, and the referee is going to stop play for Mario Itoje, and the referee is signalling substitution. You know a player's in trouble.
I hope it's nothing serious. England's discipline again, that's what will cause you grief in the end if it ratchets up any more. 7-1 Ireland, that's just magnificent. I think the average is about 11 for an international game from each side, that is. So Ireland just unbelievable, just keeping their consistency of not going in the honeypot. Can we see this?
Well, there's the tackle from Sinclair, and he's the meat in the prop sandwich is Gary Ringrose. But what an impact he's had in the last 4 minutes. It was he that made the tackle down inside Ireland's 22, and it is he at the other end who, through a bit of ducking and diving and bobbing and weaving, has managed to get a penalty.
When you're talking about Ringrose, who do we meet in the lift? Brian O'Driscoll. He's the type of guy that actually says, right, okay, we're in a big fight here, I've got to do something for my team, and Ringrose is doing it. He's leading his forwards. They're doing a pretty good job. Some of these collisions are just out of stratosphere at the moment. It's just hit on hit on hit on hit, and you can see that dominant thing that England will not let him try and get him through to get that momentum up. These are great shots.
And there's going to be a change because Itoje is limping off, and that's not a great thing to see for England with the Six Nations, not just for today, but for the rest of the Six Nations. England, of course, have France at home next week, and Itoje looks like he's in trouble.
And they've just brought Cruz off. A minute before that, they just brought Cruz off, a designated second row. This guy looks terribly hurt. He's normally bouncing around for the full 80 minutes.
Well, the referee had concern for him, and when you see that, you know a player's in trouble. Nathan Hughes is in. And, well, here's Itoje to make the tackle on Rory Best. Looks innocuous enough, nothing significant there, but
I'm no expert over extensions. Sometimes your studs get caught in there and you take a lot of pressure. This is the colossal hits going out there. There's big lads, 16, 18, 19 stone guys going, and again they're told by the defence coach, thou shall not pass. You're not coming here. I'm not going to accept you. I am actually going to hit you back.
This should be straightforward for Jonathan Sexton. Up go the flags. We have a 4-point game at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin. It's Ireland 13, England 17, and it is so finely balanced.
And you're coming in almost to the crucial stage, as we say, don't we? The last quarter, the 60-minute mark. You're well within this game. If England had got 3 down there, they'd have been 2 scores ahead. As it is now, it's anybody's. But it's these type of situations when the pressure tells. Do you keep it together? Do you know what everyone else around you is doing?
Use it!
Murray with the box kick, and Daly came and Daly missed, and now it's advantage Ireland, and Bundyaki gets the ball and a whole heap of Manitulagi at the same time. But advantage is still being played to Ireland. There's none coming, and we'll go back for the knock-on.
Would Mike Brown drop that ball? Look, it's difficult. There's a lot of traffic out there, but again, if there's one question mark of putting Elliot Daly at full-back. Look, he's got a siege gun left boot. He showed that for the Lions, hitting 55 metres. He's incredibly quick. He's got great distribution. You've got to make that at international rugby. You're coming forward. There's a lot of traffic. As we see 2 big lads just going for it, hammer and tongs. And that's what's happened now. England have given given Ireland the ball back. They've got to put in at the scrum. They can regroup, they can take their time and start again.
Oh, Tuolangi with the big tackle. He doesn't feature on the most tackles made board so far. It's Josh van der Fleer and Mako Vunipola with 18 apiece as we come to the end of the third quarter of this game. That leads that effort in terms of cutting the opposition down. And I'm looking to the benches to see, because it's around about the hour mark that normally those changes come, and Devon Toner is struggling for Ireland and he is going to be replaced, which means that Quinn Rue is going to come in, and Rue from Connacht is there to make his 9th international cap. He really has come from nowhere in the last 2 weeks. He's been around the Irish camp, but when you consider Ian Henderson and Tadhg Byrne are both injured, Ultan Dillane was ahead of him in the squad original selection, but there is what, 2, 4, 5, your 6th choice second row all of a sudden becomes pivotal in this first game of the Six Nations. Rue alongside James Ryan.
And am I allowed to say James Ryan has had a pretty quiet game for James Ryan standards? Normally we mention him every other almost minute or so, but you know, he's had to do his job, and that's how England, I think, have come into this game. They said, right, we're going to keep you quiet, mate. One of the sort of, you know, top players.
Well, the cold analysis will be done about this game after the final whistle and long into the days of next week. But on the face of it, in 60 minutes, the only black mark against England is their discipline.
And that's invariably what games are won on or hinge on. It's your discipline. That's what coaches talk about after, we gave away too many penalties. Why? Because you can't control your players. You know, New Zealand like to do it, but they do it in certain areas to give away 3 rather than give away 7. But if this keeps up, that boy knows that he can just navigate his forwards into areas and keep it with the 3, keep it with a drop goal. Just nudge her and try and nudge ahead.
Yeah, strong position, strong. Use it now. Stable.
Standard feeds Jonathan Sexton. Ringrose to Robbie Henshaw, gets caught in possession. Big tackle in midfield, and what Ireland tried to do was killed at source. You'll see from the replay that Conor Murray came around the narrow side in an attempt to decoy, but England didn't buy it, and Ringrose's pass, and was it Slade with the tackle?
He's some player as well. You know, he can play 10, 12 or 13. He's got pace. I remember seeing him as a youngster under 20s down at Plymouth playing against Scotland when he was about 19. I said, this guy's going to do something. Playing 10. I'd still like to see him have a go occasionally at 10. I think he creates more, but that was a great tackle. Tackle at the breakdown, tackle's made.
And that dominant tackle count continues to grow for England.
Bone cruncher it should be called, not dominant, bone cruncher. Here they go, the Irish crowd trying to lift their boys now for the last 20 or so.
Crush! Bye! Okay, stay back.
Youngs, from a very solid scrum for England, brings Jack Noel into the game. Youngs again, and Daly arrives. Stander makes the tackle. Mako Vunipola. Youngs and Hughes runs into Quinn Rue. The 2 fresh men meet in no man's land. Sinclair and Ryan. Ball for Youngs, but England not making any sort of forward progress through those phases. Tuolangi. The advantage being played. Ireland give away just their 2nd penalty, but crucially, it's kickable from England's view. And Sexton questions the referee, but Garces adamant.
Well, there's only one option here. You go straight for the post. Doesn't look like both kickers going to miss today. Conditions absolutely superb.
I wonder, is Farrell having a conversation with Daly here about who might take this? Yeah, it's in Farrell's range. There's no doubt it is within Farrell's range, but it was he that had a word with Daly. I think as much to say as we talked if it was in this area, but I'm comfortable.
Like I said, he doesn't look like he's going to miss. That is well within his range, even without actually giving it a little bit more of a lick. Daly can hit him from the halfway. Again, we've seen him in a Lions shirt, we've seen him in a Wasp shirt, we've seen him in an England shirt. 50-55 metres, that's siege gun of a left boot. This is more of a tickle over from Farrell. Like I said, there's no wind to worry about. This is all about procedure, getting over top of the ball and just doing what you've done a couple of 100,000 times.
Just over the hour mark, and this is a tester for Owen Farrell. That's what faces him. The prize would to be restore that 7-point lead. And he hasn't found the target. And there's a difference in the final quarter when the body is tired and the pressure is on. And Ireland makes some changes. Andrew Porter, that is he, comes into the game to win his 12th international cap. Cian Healy is gone as well, which means Kilcoyne will come in. Munster's David Kilcoyne to win cap number 25, and Ireland with a little restart to try and reclaim possession. And it was a knock forward, the referee says, from an English hand first. I have to say I didn't see it because it was Ireland and Rory Best, I thought, that knocked it forward, but the referee saw white jersey knock it forward first. Marginal.
James Ryan got there first. I think Ireland got away with that. Tuolangi was in the picture, in the frame, but I would say the big Sekiro just got in front of him a tad. But again, it's one of those risky things to do, because the sensible thing, you're just 7 points, sorry, you're 4 points down, is to hoop it upfield, set your big green line, and make England try and make a mistake. They went for the cute play. If it comes off, you know, it's great, it's fantastic. But you admire them for risking that, but they've got away with it. They've got a second chance.
Conor Murray feeds Bundyaki, and England a little slow off the line that time. Get there nonetheless, and they're quicker through Owen Farrell, this time on Peter O'Mahony. Here's Andrew Porter. Leinster prop forward. Quinn Roux protects the ball, and Conor Murray sends it high. A tester for May and Daly. It's May who steps forward and past the test with flying colours. Claims possession. And Youngs will send one for Conor Murray with far less pressure on his ability to take. That's a poor pass from Murray, a bad decision. And Stockdale, from a standing start, probably gets a yard or two more than he should have.
He just saw 3 front row forwards in front of him.
Bundyaki, Ireland now playing with it deep inside their 22. Ringrose steps back inside, and Nathan Hughes makes the tackle. Murray, Sexton thought about the kick. Here's Stockdale. Maybe could have released, but Peter O'Mahony is there to protect the ball. James Ryan. All this though, deep inside Irish territory, and England will be happy to make those tackles for the next 17 minutes. It's Ireland that have got to find a way to score. Where's this one off to? Back by Henshaw when it would have been out on the full, and he did really well. Terrific improvisation from Robbie Henshaw. Andrew Porter and James Ryan, and the crowd desperate for Ireland to find a spark, and they do everything they can to lift them. Ringrose with Van der Fleer there, and it's advantage to England. Knock forward, I think, in the tackle. Knock forward it is.
Knock on by Green.
Knock on by Green, Garces says. And James Ryan must have heard me, actually, because again, he's touched the ball about 4 or 5 times, making small yardage. He did so well here, getting that ball back inside.
So well.
He did. And then Brian again, it's
Ringrose.
Ringrose.
There's the knock forward.
That's it. That's what we didn't see. The referee saw it. Most of the English forwards saw it.
Change for Ireland in the back row, and in comes Sean O'Brien to replace CJ Stander. O'Brien, a little bit like Benny Villapona on the far side has had his horrors with injuries over the last couple of seasons. Stander, well, there's a body that tells the story of the battle he's been through.
He plays like it week in, week out, whether it's the red of Munster or green of Ireland. Absolutely outstanding. Sinclair's got a little bit of cramp on there.
Sorry, Dowie, just a recap of the tries. That was Johnny May early for England and Cian Healy back for Ireland, and then a second try for England as Jacob Stockdale juggled with it and Noel made the tackle and Daly dotted down. And that's the 3 tries that we've had so far at the Aviva Stadium. Kyle Sinclair is gone. That's the significant shape of Harry Williams.
He's a big lad. He is a big lad.
Very.
You can't miss him. Sinclair's done a good job, like I said. He's a great carry of the ball. Defence have been suffocating today, but he's done his a big shift.
Here are the changes on the sides. Kilcoyne, Porter, Roux, O'Brien and Lorimer in for Ireland.
But if I'm Youngs now, I get this ball to Elliot Daly, and Elliot Daly fires it down to that bottom left-hand corner.
Harry, keep chasing. Keep chasing. How's that going?
And here are the changes that England have made. You can see Williams, Hughes and Laws with 3 to come in.
Suggest that the back row are going to stay the same.
Good scrum, guys.
Will Dan Robson get a first cap for England, the scrum half? It's only 4 points in, isn't it? That's, you know, he's a talented player. I'd just love to see him explode off the bench. It's long becoming that he's been given a chance. There he is. He'll be relishing this because he has got pace to burn. But anyway, big job for the forwards first. In, out. Get it to Elliot, down in that bottom corner. Oh, they go the other way.
Youngs to Slade, and Slade's pass is terrific to Johnny May, and May draws Henshaw, kicks over the top, and after it goes Henry Slade. What a try! Referee is going to check on the pass.
If the player's in front of the kicker, yes.
Was he in front? Was he in front?
But in real time, it looked okay, and what a finish. But it'll be the television match official that will confirm or deny Henry Slade's try.
The pass for us, it's correct, it's good. I just want to check if the 13 wide is in front of the kicker, yes or no.
So you don't want to check the pass, you just want to check whether the chaser is onside. Okay.
So he's happy with the pass, and I have to say it looked fine from where we're viewing. It's about whether the kicker and the chaser were behind each other.
Well, May's been in the heart of everything.
Other way around, if you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean, Niall. Don't worry, it's been a good afternoon. But England going for broke there, going for the risky play. Here we go. May goes forward. You can see Slade.
Ooh,
he's ahead.
I think he might be ahead. So Slade is top of your picture.
Well, he got Tuolangi behind. Slade's got the black socks on.
It's the best
May
angle,
kicks the ball.
It's going to be, it's difficult. It is very difficult.
That's right, yes, there's no clear evidence he's in front.
No, there is no clear evidence. I think it's very, very close, and the balance is going to go towards the attacking team, and the try is given, and the crowd don't like it. But what a finish from Slade. England, when you thought they might kick for territory and pin Ireland back, well, May, Drew Henshaw delivered a perfect kick, and Slade, what a finish.
Well, that's what makes good sides that are willing to take a risk. You see, there's still plenty of time, still 14 minutes, but Owen Farrell said, no, you're coming back this way. You're not going down the blind side using Elliot, which I thought they would do, putting that ball into that bottom right-hand corner as we look from right to left. And now Farrell, he ain't missed one, well, he has missed that big long-range one, but he likes the hard ones.
This one is off to the left and wide. So it's a 9-point game. And here it is.
And that's the way it came. He missed it. He missed Owen Farrell out. Referee made a decision. The TMO made a decision. That's a perfectly good try. Slade can celebrate. England can celebrate. And that's going for broke. That's taking the risky option.
Rory Best, Ireland's captain, is gone. Sean Cronin comes in. It's a 9-point game. There are 13 minutes left on the clock, and Ireland are right up against the back wall with the side ones closing in. And England, you have to say, are good value for their lead. They have managed to find a way of negating Ireland's ability to get go-forward ball and to work their patterns, and Ireland have stuttered and stumbled at times, but still they're in this game. Best off, it means O'Mahony's Ireland's captain. Murray for Porter. Farrell tries to rip the ball, doesn't hold the man in the tackle, so Porter entitled to get up and go again. Bundyaki. It's going to require a moment of magic from Ireland. England have found a way of creating theirs. Here's Stockdale.
7 wide!
Quinn Roux.
No, why?
Conor Murray again, Jonathan Sexton. And that's symptomatic of what's happened to Ireland today. Under pressure, they haven't been able to execute. Ringrose caught way behind the gain line by Courtney Laws. It's beginning to feel like Eddie Jones has figured out the playbook and has come up with his own to answer it, and Sexton looks befuddled and bewildered.
Again, it's that magical word, momentum. England have had it from that blistering start. Ireland obviously were going to come back into it in patches. I think Farrell is going to ask Elliot Daly to go for 3. It's the right decision, even if you're just taking the clock down. But again, look at this line speed. They're pulling the ball back. Things aren't going well, and Courtney Laws, you've just got a big red dot on you, and this big lad's coming at you, bang. You can see it happening because they're not going forward. There's no momentum for the guys to pick a movement out from a pass or even a decoy runner. Hit after hit, and it's all coming from the white side.
Well, maybe a little surprisingly, Owen Farrell is retaining the kicking duty on this one. It is off the last one and the conversion as well. He's missed 2, and this is quite a distance out, but it's not beyond him, that's for sure.
Well, it's the typical of the man, isn't it? He's missed 2. Give it me again. He has got the distance, but he's going to have to give it a lick. It showed that with the one he missed slightly to the left.
This one looks better. In fact, it's outstanding, and Farrell's face tells the story, and so does that supporter. England believe, and why shouldn't they? Ireland 13, England 25, 3 tries to 1. What it means in the last 2 minutes is Ireland, or last 10 minutes I should say, Ireland going to have to find 2 converted tries for the great Houdini act.
Backwards.
And on the balance of everything we've seen so far, you can't see how they can do it. Sexton. Larmour. Laws does enough to disrupt him. Murray for Kilcoyne. Ringrose. England making the tackles again. Slowing the ball down. Here's Sean O'Brien. Good feet from the big man. O'Mahony. Sexton, Ringrose, wrap around. England read that one as well. Did enough to put Jonathan Sexton down. Gary Ringrose, very slow to get to his feet.
No!
Murray will send the kick for Daly. Elliot Daly watched it all the way, gathered that one, and Jack Noel there in support, and England can smell the resistance of Ireland maybe slowly breaking.
Well, as John Mitchell said, my old mate from my Sale days and defence coach, he said the hunter has become the hunted now. And England will be very happy with this, just keeping ball or even defending ball, tackling ball all day.
Johnny Mays after this one. Henshaw gets caught in possession, gathers the ball. He's going to get support from others in green, but Ireland right back.
Back.
What?
Back.
A metre, if even that, short of their own line.
Back foot.
Got an awfully long way to go. Good size find a way, but I think this is beyond even Ireland. That fantastic autumn they had, that victory against New Zealand where they hardly put a foot wrong. England have come here with a game plan, you mentioned it, and they've stuck to their own game plan and frustrated Ireland.
Billy Funapola thought about the quick one, but there's no need right now. Here's the Farrell penalty, and the reaction was one of a man. Well, look at Itoje and Cruz.
Cometh the hour.
Absolutely. Change for Ireland. Sees Joey Carberry in and Gary Ringrose, who shipped a knock, make way.
Well, there's a first swing low, sweet chariot. There's quite a few English guys over here, and they got a right to sing. The crowd don't like it. There's a few people leaving. Well, I tell you what, those guys in white have performed superbly today. There's still 8 minutes to go. Well, I tell you what, this should be the comeback of all comeback if Ireland were to do it. Jamie George's got the throw, and I wouldn't think this ball will be going out. You can see where Billy Vunipola is. That comes down, that gets driven.
Ireland steal it. O'Mahony gets the ball, but England look to wrap him up as O'Mahony looks to go to ground, or in fact Murray, I should say, looks to go to ground. O'Mahony was the one who robbed and now plays scrum half. Sean Cronin.
10.
137 tackles from England so far. They wouldn't mind just another 25-30 just to see this game out. Again, just to get out of their own 22. Conor Murray's got to box it up to the halfway line. Bit of a mother's meeting from the England forwards. Like I said, nothing too flashy. Ireland did very well. Missed tackles. Tackles made 130, very equal. Missed tackles there from England, 26-7. And Ireland got massive carries, massive meters, but again, they've been under the cosh. England have missed those tackles because, again, the collisions have been so good.
Yeah.
Tells its story. Ireland were unable to do what to unpick England today.
It looks like England are going to make a change. In is going to come Chris Ashton, and Ashton comes in and Noel makes way.
It would be just like Ashton now to get the ball. First touch, score another one. But again, Ireland have got to try and somehow nick this. There you go. You're not seeing this for about a minute and a half.
Keep your mind there, keep your mind.
That's a really good maul from England. Ireland eventually disrupt. They turn it over, no way happens. Johnny May will play scrum half. Mako Vunipola, who must be up there in the thought processes of those that are considering man of the match. He's been outstanding for England today. Ben Young's Larmer, it's the ball but cut down, as we've said so many times. Kilcoyne. Murray again. Sean O'Brien surely will feature from the start next week, you think, as Ireland travel to Scotland, England back to Twickenham where they play France.
It was almost like an electric fence on that 22. They're not allowed out.
Backwards!
Oh!
Is it knocked forward? No, it's not. Try given. And it's Slade again. Ireland forcing it, and England rob it and put this one to bed. Bonus point try, Henry Slade, and Ireland are well and truly beaten.
Well, I don't think they've broken any hearts here. They've just tore them apart. That's great. That's what happens. Again, pressure builds, pressure builds. You've got to do those sort of miracle passes, and England can just absorb, and bounce. And he's bounced in there. He is a skillful lad. Like I said, I'd love to give him a go at 10 sometimes. He just sticks out an arm, he retrieves the ball back, keeps his composure,
Yeah, it's a good try.
and that
Never
is it.
control
Good
the ball.
night, Ireland.
Never lose
Well
the
done,
control of the
England.
ball.
And the face of Conor Murray pretty much sums up how 80% of the crowd here in the Aviva Stadium feel on this cold winter evening in Dublin. Owen Farrell to add another 2. And whatever about coming to Dublin and putting in a performance and maybe winning, coming to Dublin and putting down a marker against a team that many had made one of the favourites for the World Cup. Well, a bonus point win, 32 points to 13 with 3 minutes left on the clock. It's as emphatic as Eddie Jones could have dreamed of.
Well, that'll be a lively press conference. I'm sure it will. But again, it's, you know, you can only do so much as a coach. It's up to the players when they get over that, you know, over the whitewash, all the cliches you want to use. But England exploded out of the blocks, didn't they, with that try with Johnny May in the first 2 minutes. Ireland, like I said, have come back into it now. Now the benches are unloaded. Ford is on. I think Robson's on to get his first cap. He'll be singing a song on the bus going to the hotel, I'm sure. It's tradition.
Well, Ireland will restart. Well, Ireland will be rocked by this, have no doubt. And Joe Schmidt will no doubt find a way of coming up with an answer for the rest of the tournament. But it doesn't make them a bad team overnight, but it has definitely not been a performance at the standards that everybody has come to expect of Ireland. But you've got to credit England for allowing that sort of performance from Ireland, or not allowing any performance from Ireland.
And that's what Eddie Jones has done with his barbed comments sometimes, just so you're the #1 team in the world. Well, the Ireland aren't. You know, they've beaten the #1 side. New Zealand are rightly so there and have been for many, many years. But because you beat New Zealand, you become almost the target. How can you handle that? I think they handle the pressure. They've just been beaten, as you said, by a better side. Absolutely.
Well, time to consider the Guinness Man of the Match, and those deliberations have been made, and that is the man who gets the reward, Mako Vunipola, the Guinness Man of the Match. And it's hard to argue.
Offside.
Brilliant player, 9 carries, 31 metres made, 19 tackles from a loose head forward. 19, you're not allowed to do that.
And scrummage strong and carried.
Yeah. And with a bag of coal on your back.
Ten, 12,
Oh, everyone.
14.
Back. 4.
Well, it looks like
Midfield, Sean O'Brien. Cooney, who's on for Conor Murray. Henshaw for Stockdale. John Cooney, Ulster scrum half. Tries to dig it out to Quinn Rue. Gathers the ball, referee sticks out an arm, advantage to Ireland for a knock forward. Cooney can see it. Now Sexton. Kilcoyne in midfield, Laws makes the tackle. Then away goes Cronin, Sean Cronin, it is a consolation for Ireland. Cooney juggles with it, but we'll get there. Cooney in. Ireland get their second try. Jonathan Sexton bangs over the conversion immediately as a drop kick, and the game will restart again.
too little, too late. England having a meeting underneath the post. They're not going to be hurrying to get to the halfway line, but again, it's a good break round the middle. England were thinking they're going to attack out wide. They've gone up the gets, but like I said, the England defence have won today. They were lacking there right at the death, but the defence coach won't like it. England won't worry.
Now, from Ireland's perspective, no doubt what they're thinking is get the game restarted. Another try would get them a losing bonus point if they could get within 8 of England. But, well, it's grasping at straws at this point. But nonetheless, the intent is there. With George Ford in England, you feel one more possession, this will go to touch, and that will be that. Mission accomplished.
Job done. Well, the only down mark from England is that Dan Robinson hasn't come on. Ben Youngs has stayed on all afternoon or early evening. I'd like to see give him a run. I'm sure he will sometime in the Six Nations.
Quinn Root for Sexton. And Sexton finds a way out of the 22, close to that 10-metre line. Cooney for Kilcoyne. And England make the tackle. This time it's Williams who does it. Aki for Sean O'Brien, back on the angle. This is the last passage of play. James Ryan. Big tackle from Courtney Laws, I think it was. Kilcoyne once more. Cooney digs it out. Sean O'Brien. Tom Curry makes the tackle. He's had an impact. He won't be happy with his discipline that got him that yellow card in the first half, but big effort from the young man. Ireland are starting to play with it again, and England snatch the ball and fling it out, and into touch it goes. It's a little bit of a messy end as Ford and Stockdale have a little moment, but it's all over, it's all done. England came with a very clear game plan. They out-muscled, they out-thought, and in the end they outplayed Ireland, and they are deserved champions on a full-time score of Ireland 20, England 32.